Yeah. I want to welcome y'all to the Arthur J and Torrie TV podcast. Let's get it. Just sit back and let it breathe. We coming with more heat. You only get one shot. You shady or maybe not. You capping, we laughing. We on a mission. Now listen, we making statements and stating some of opinions and some of fact. So sit back and just relax. All the bull don't get no slack. We bringing it back to back with a swag and a class act. It's levels to this, and the truth will show who your friends are. That hate you won't get far. So be great. Let's debate. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm Arthur J.
And I'm Torrie.
And we back with another episode. We want to welcome y'all to the Arthur J and Torrie TV podcast. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Let's get into it, man.
Let's go.
Y'all see the title, man. Let's get right into it, man. First point I want to get right into, man, this is something that been really sticking out to me, man, like a sore thumb. Desperate people possibly make poor choices in a relationship. I want to talk about that, man. I'm gonna start it off. I usually tie you right in first, but I'm gonna start it off right there. I think a lot of times it's just how it sounds. It just, it don't get no more plain than that. When a lot of people, I grew up seeing this, is they get desperate. Mm-hmm. It's like, I gotta have somebody. You see that in the world all the time, and it's not. Let's just be real for a minute. A lot of times it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you don't want to be lonely. People that don't mind being alone, they don't mind being alone. Yeah. People that don't want to be lonely, don't want to be lonely. I just feel like you shouldn't sell yourself short. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I really want to dive in on, because when you desperate, it's like you go way out on a limb to get the things that you want. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, it's just, it makes you look like a fool. It makes you look like, it's very blunt. It make you look like you'll do anything just to get with anybody. Yeah. I want to tie you right in on that. How you feel about that?
Man, being with somebody out of desperation or just loneliness is always most likely it's going to play out bad. You know what I'm saying? Because a person that you're with could sense that you desperate and you just want to be. So most likely they do whatever they want to, because you're going to accept it because you don't want to be lonely. Having somebody there is well and good for you, instead of taking your time to find the right person that's going to treat you right. Is like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So on that, man, it never plays out well, man.
And that's real, man, because it's like, being patient is the key.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
And everything
it's real
days,
hard, bro. It's hard as hell, man, because a lot of times when Valentine's Day come around, different events come around, I've been there.
And we get it. Nobody really wants to be, or I'm going to say most people don't want to grow old, alone, and lonely. You got social media seeing stuff, couples and beautiful pictures and all that. But
bro, you hear me say throughout the episodes all the time, me being single. I'm single, and I don't never want to stick my chest out like I don't need nobody. I just believe in just, especially me being a father. I just look at it in so many different ways. Who you hook up with, I don't want to waste nobody's time. Yeah. They already say men waste. Man. We waste their time. We're not serious. We only want just a whole 9 yards of things. Yeah. So my whole thing is, okay, let me show society. Let me show you who I'm trying to pursue and I'm trying to get to know and take out and all that stuff. If I approach you, just like our first episode, I'm gonna show you what type of time I'm on. Yeah. So and if you haven't seen the first episode, go way back to the first episode.
That's cool. You remember that, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But man, yeah, you gotta realize that, know your worth.
Know your worth.
Know that you are worth more than what you accepting or that you putting out there. Because when you meet somebody, and let's say they the one that's not taking things serious and they taking advantage of you. Yeah. They're going to feed off of your desperation. Yeah. They're going to feed off of you feeling like you'll do anything to keep him or her. Yep. They'll feel like, oh, she like me more than I like her, or he like me more than I like. No, you don't need
to
be with a person if you feel like you putting in more than what they putting in, or you giving your all and they just coming halfway. You don't need to be with a person that's like that, because it's gonna always make you feel like you running after something that you can't catch.
And dude, I was that person at one time. I wasn't desperate. Because I could, get a woman, but I was lonely.
Let's talk
Felt
about
like
it.
I needed to be with somebody in my past. You know what I'm saying? I never, for a while, just sat there and be like, man, you know what? I need to learn me. You know what I'm saying? It was always relationship. I was looking back on memories in my Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to say to myself, I was a sucker. Like,
Man,
always talking about
let's talk about
relationship and man, I'm like, man, Torrie, sit down somewhere, man. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to grow into chilling, what makes me happy, learning myself. But because just being in a relationship, jumping from relationship to relationship, just because you don't want to be lonely, it didn't work out until I found and had peace with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in the intent, one day I'm going to go search and find me someone. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody coming to me, because I'm still going to search and find you. But it was a time that you just say, it'll come to you, or it wasn't just boom, boom, boom. Everybody hit your inbox. Let's go on a date. Let's do this. And
That's
next
real.
thing you know, you're in a relationship. Nah, so.
Yeah, man. Desperate people, man.
Man.
Desperate people, they just seek.
Desperate and lonely.
Yeah, they seek for any and everything, man. I want to move to this next point, man. Moving too fast in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I want to elaborate on that, man. I've seen people like bounce from relationship to relationship.
Exactly.
Like we had a situation. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, let's go. I want to see. I want to hear this.
Where, a person that I know.
Mm-hmm.
They got out of a relationship,
mm-hmm.
and then 6 minutes. Wow, that would have been crazy.
That was quick.
6 months later, it was told to me that they was engaged.
I know what you're talking about.
Let that breathe.
Let
that breathe.
Oh,
I want to tie you in on that. How do you feel about people moving too fast in a new relationship, and how is it important to not move too fast?
Well, in that particular situation, that was totally too fast. And everybody say love don't have a time and all that stuff. But
that's what made this conversation good.
As a man, I'm gonna have a few things I already think. Either you was already talking to somebody. That's gonna be probably my first. You was already talking to Joe Blow. Or you just so infatuated with this thing called marriage.
My headphones off on that one, man.
You want me to repeat that one?
Yeah, go ahead and say it for the two people in the back that didn't hear you.
6 months after you got out of a relationship, you probably was already, and you're engaged. Not just in a relationship and dating, you're engaged. You was already probably talking to Joe Blow while you was with me. Or you always had that on standby, something. Or you just infatuated with this thing called married, that I just got to be married, which that is the goal for most people. Relationship, marriage, and kids, and whatever, etc.
Talking now.
But the thing is, you have to learn a person. You have to date a person to actually know a person. You know what I'm saying? And that just being real. And I'm all for taking your time. The date, don't feel pressured to be married. I ain't telling you to have somebody stringing somebody alone for 7, 8 years, but whatever it may be, before you marry them, you have to learn that person, because it's more than a few steps. You got dating steps to learn each other.
Yeah.
Most people move in with each other before marriage. That's a whole nother notch. You got to learn this person, if you can live with this person, and etc. But to take it back, man, like I say, moving too fast, you already had that person in lined up, or you just sold on this infatuation and this fantasy, or fairy tale, I should say, of what marriage is. But really, you're not ready for it, or you're not built for it, because it ain't just sunshines and flowers blooming. As I said one time in a episode previous, it's work. It's actually more work probably in marriage than just dating a person. But hey,
you're right, man. It's so much that's running through my head.
Go ahead.
Now.
We gonna go with it.
I'm trying to find which one to grab from, man. But I would say this, man. I remember a time where years and years ago, where a person was like, this person don't know me. They hurt me. They doing me bad. I'll be out of this relationship and right to the next one. I thought I was getting punked. I'm looking for the cameras like, okay, I know the camera gonna come out and just be like, like Kevin Hart said, you ever heard somebody say something and you sit there and you wait for them to just say, I'm just playing. And then they never said. So it made me look at, like, when people are damaged, they feed off of that before they even get healed. But they'll go on to the next person and they'll want that person, they'll use this excuse, take me as I am, accept all of my flaws. What if I'm not damaged right now? Yeah. What if I was damaged, but I took the time to get healed? Now you want me to be this magical hero where I got to heal you. And you didn't do it for yourself. Now you want me to take you as you are, but it's not fair to me that here it is, I'm over here in this peaceful world of mine, and I done moved on in my damage experience that I've had in the past, and now a damaged person that didn't take time for themselves because they keep on hopping from penis to penis to penis. I mean, hopping from relationship. We gonna talk about it.
To say, hey,
yeah, you know, again, trying to keep it respectful.
Yeah,
you know, trying to keep it PG-13. Yeah. But anyways, it's like, when did you ever take time for yourself to heal?
Yeah,
let that breathe.
Let it breathe.
When did you ever take time to just, you know, for yourself to just say, okay, if I remember in we always quoting movies. Remember in Baby Boy, when the mother was talking to Yvette, she said, if you don't have enough to give to you and that baby, how do you have enough to give to him? Well, it's a lot of let that breathe in this episode right here. Let that breathe.
Yeah, man.
Because it's real, man. It's like, I've seen that, and I'm like, I always say this about myself, you know, yes, you can be alone too long and used to doing things your way. You can be stubborn. You can, because I've seen people who be alone. On the flip side of it, see people be by themselves for a long time, and now they stuck in their ways. So I have to watch out that for myself. But the one thing that I try to really capitalize on is not settling, because I've been used to being single. It's not settling because it's real easy to get in that mode where you. It's like, okay, I finna go on dates. I finna meet people. And then you not looking for the things that you should look for because you just trying to hurry and get some.
Now, guess what that set you up for? The things that you will accept and the things that you will not accept, because I'm not desperate. I'm good on myself. I'm at peace with myself. I don't just have to settle for anything just to be with somebody. I know what, listen, this ain't gonna go no farther than this. And I'm gonna just date the next person, and I'm big on dating one person at a time. People like date them all now, because you're gonna end up blending all three people and say, oh, I wish I could have, if all three of them was this, take a little bit of this person, that person, build them together. You got the perfect person. But we all flawed. So, but at the end of the day, man, when you take time to learn yourself, you learn what you will and will not put up with, because you're at peace. I told a friend the other day, man, it's peace over everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like we say, nobody want to grow old, but alone, that is. But at the end of the day, I'd rather grow old alone than put up with a broken person that ain't healed and fits in every day or every week. I'm constantly have to fit some because they ain't fits with themselves. They're not in love with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're in love with the infatuation of being in a relationship. But do you love yourself?
Right. Let's move to this next point, man. Making your new partner pay for your ex's mistakes.
Man, I got the perfect song for that. Music Soul Child, Previous Cats. It's a long time. Y'all check that out.
It's before my time.
You know what I'm saying? You check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Previous Cat, Music Soul Child.
As soon as we off these cameras, man, I'm gonna check this out when I get in the car and everything. But man, let's get right into it, man. That happens a lot, man. Again, one thing y'all gonna learn about Arthur J and Torrie TV, we are a big fan of movies. If y'all don't know that, we're a big fan of movies. And, you know, when we first met, we realized how much we had in common by always sending each other text messages of quotes from movies, and we have to guess what movie that come from.
Yeah.
That's just a little side note that what we do. So it's like, a guy in one of Tyler Perry movies. I think it was Medea's. No, it was I think it was a Diary of a Mad Black Woman, if I'm not mistaken. And
I'll definitely let you know once you start. I'm
gonna tell you what the guy said. The guy said, "Please don't." He said, "Don't make me pay for." I think it was Shamal Moore who said that.
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
He said, "Please don't make me, pay for his sins."
Yeah.
Or
he even said, "I know if you don't want to be with me, but don't go back to that because it's familiar."
and I want to tie you right in on that, man, because I think it's so important for people to realize how much people do that. Like, you can be hurt and you can be so damaged because you didn't take time to heal. To you take your anger out on the new person before they even done anything. And the minute they do something that remind you in your mind of your past, it's like you break them because you've been broken.
Yeah.
And I wanna tie you right in how you feel about that.
And again, to stay on that movie, at the end, she went back, and it was just he was so in tune with her that he took her back. It don't always. That's a movie, y'all. It's a movie.
Don't get me started.
You gonna leave me? I done build you back up. Done build you, and you leave me to go back to the same familiar situation. What do I need you coming back in my life disrupting my peace again?
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about familiar ways, and some women keep choosing. They say, "Oh, I like a bad boy. I like a bad boy." Okay, keep choosing a bad boy then, and keep getting the same result. Insane. You know what I'm saying? So hey, fix yourself.
Me up, man.
Fix yourself. Somebody told me they wasn't properly loved correctly, so they was coming at a person incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? And when that person stood on something, morals, they didn't know how to handle it. But they used that as a defense mechanism and said, "I wasn't loved properly." Well, you need to get love. Go heal yourself before you come this way. You know what I'm saying? That's just being real. So,
and that's the problem all the time when it come down to people meeting new people. Is that you looking at a person, and in your mind, you looking at a new person, but in your mind, you still see the old face.
Yeah.
You still bringing the things of your past in a new situation. Now, if your new situation is not, is treating you bad or doing you wrong, that's common sense. You need to leave. You need to, deuces. So I understand. Time after time after time, people get hurt. They get hurt. They get damaged. This relationship didn't work. That relationship didn't work. This relationship didn't work. You start questioning yourself. Is it me or is it that person? You go through all these
self-evaluation.
Yeah, you gotta really reevaluate yourself and just say, okay, what's the best move that I need to make? Like, how patient am I?
Yeah.
I know I'm lonely and I know I'm vulnerable. I know I'm horny. I know I'm all the above.
Yeah.
But what is the best move for me mentally? Because all that other stuff can wait. All that stuff can come. We all, like, I'm single. I always say it all the time. I'm going to keep saying it till I'm not single no more. But we all have shared that before, where it's like we just get beside ourselves and we should have been patient and really see the person for who they are.
Yep.
Not just how good they feel or how good they kiss or how good they look or how good they cook.
Oh, man, they look good.
Yeah. Or how much money they got. No, you need to look at the person for who they are. So when a person take things of they pass out on you, you got to really look at that.
Exactly.
You can't ignore that. You can't just let that pass you by, man. Yeah. You got to be a person that have integrity or be sharp on your A game and just be like, no, wait. I'm not her.
Yeah.
I'm not him. And if you can't move past that, then I care about you enough to say you're not ready.
Exactly.
For what I have to offer.
And you, like you said earlier, it's like you have to fit something. You have to fit something. No, women, I'm going to say this. Men, I'm going to say this. It's not the other person's responsibility to make you happy. Come happy.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure to put on somebody to make you happy. That is not his job. That is not her job.
Yeah.
You help each other be happier. But it's not my responsibility to make sure that you just happy. I have to make sure I'm happy. Because if I'm not happy, there's no way I can make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So stop giving that person all that responsibility. It's unfair and it's kind of selfish.
Right.
And it just is.
Man, let's move to this next point, man. Low self-esteem, insecurities, lack of self-love. That all kind of wrap it up.
Wow.
With everything. Yeah, it's a lot, man.
We were talking about just now.
I would start off. The first thing is you have to recognize what you lack. You have to know if you're suffering with low self-esteem, insecurities, or lack of self-love, which is very important with the lack of self-love, along with the other ones that I mentioned. But self-love is again, it goes back to what we said in the movie. If you don't have the love to give to yourself, how can you give it to anybody else?
Exactly.
How can you love me if you don't love yourself? How can you say you want to spend the rest of your life with me, or you want to you love me for who I am, and you don't love yourself for who you are? That's something to think about, man. And I want to tie you right in on that, man. How do you feel about the importance of people a lot of times don't recognize if they even suffering with any of these that we said? The self-love, the self-love, the lack of self-love, low self-esteem, and insecurities.
I'm going to hit you with Cat Williams. It's a esteem of yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. If you're 4 foot nothing, tell yourself you're 6 foot today. You know what I'm saying? So confidence, self-esteem, that energy goes a long way to the person that you might connect with. Now, you got a bad energy aura about yourself. You might get that same energy with the person you're trying to date. But a person could feel like when things, oh man, that's like what we said, a vibe. Oh, she got a good vibe about herself, a little positive positive one too. That goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to take the time to learn yourself and be confident in who you are before you should try to enter a relationship, because you're gonna go through a lot of bad relationships probably till you get to that good one. But you have to have a self-esteem about yourself to not deal with the bull jive and just keep it pushing and know, hey, once you do a self-check, and notice it ain't you, move on. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with confidence, self-esteem, self-love. And if you got self-love, man, like you say, that's the biggest thing, man. I don't want to be lonely, but I will until it's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and it's so important because, you know, a lot of times people wait when it's too late, or way down the road when you fully invested, and then it's like it's so much of being revealed that in the beginning we didn't take care, or you didn't take care of yourself, or even before you met somebody. People always wait to try to fix things when they get with somebody about themselves. They always wait, think about that. They always wait till they get in the relationship, and then it's like now they want to try to fix all these things, and it caused so much chaos and caused so much problems. I understand that you have a partner that can help you on different things out there to help each other, but it's like, I feel, in my opinion, that those moments when you had your breakup is so important, more than the moment that you can share with somebody.
Yeah.
Ooh, let that breathe.
Yeah.
Why, Arthur? Why do you feel like that's so important? It's because it's like preparing for what's best to come. If I didn't take time to prepare for what's best to come, then how would I ever even give what I need to give in a new situation?
Nailed it. How would I learn to treat and cherish and really treat this thing as a gift that I'm receiving right now? Because if I don't know no better, how can I be better with this gift that's been handed to me? I'm gonna fumble the bag. I'm gonna fumble the ball. You know what I'm saying? Every time. So you're right, bro.
You gotta care more about how I can be better, not only for myself but for this next person. Because a lot of times, we talked about it in previous episodes, but it's still important, even in this episode, where people are getting in a new situation, and it's all about what you expect from the other person. Exactly. If you have two individuals that's thinking about what I can give to this person at the same time, can you imagine what this world would be? But unfortunately, we live in a world where it's not like that. It's always one or the other.
Yep. And I was actually on YouTube the other day on, I forgot what I was watching. I comment, or it was Facebook. Somebody made a statement, and I said, man, we too worried about what a nuts person, a man do this, a woman do this, a man do this. Do what's needed, and stop worrying about if it's a man's job to do this or if it's a woman's job to do that. If I get in my woman's car and it's empty, I'm gonna fill it up. Not cause it's my job, but there was a need for it that I seen.
Yeah.
And it's in vice versa. And we get out of that whole, it's this and it's that and it's this. And that's crippling a lot of relationships these days because they, oh, man supposed to do this or a woman do that. Man, if that's the way you set it up, that's cool.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day.
Yeah. At the same time, I can understand whether it's a woman or whether it's a man. Mm-hmm. I can understand when you hate to hear that word insecurities, because we've as men have heard, whether it's in other people's situations or whether we experienced it in our past, where you get in an argument or you having a regular conversation and that word may come up of you acting insecure and the woman or the man to get mad and be like, why you? I can understand how they feel, but at the flip side of it is so aggravating to feel like you giving all that you have. And it's just like the person just act that way, acting as you insecure. Let's be real with it. So I can keep that held in the inside and never say it. But at what point are you going to look at yourself, whether you're a woman or a man, and just realize that I can compliment you, do all I can to try to make you feel good. But if you don't believe that, you going to sit there and it's just going to be me talking to a brick wall, and I've been one time in high school where we was all standing around and this guy was just being silly. He was like, dang, you ugly. He said that to a girl who I thought was like real pretty. And she started choking him. She grabbed this nigga and started choking him. At first I thought she was playing with her, but I saw her eyes watered up.
The spree whale.
Bruh, I'm looking like, you see this N-word? That's what I said to her. I said, you see this N-word? I was basically telling her, you see how he look? And you gonna get, man, I'm telling you, you'll have people that would get so down on themselves by somebody calling them a name. And they really look like just what they calling you. They'll call you ugly, but that's the person that's really oogly. Yeah. I'm just being real with it. So I say that just to say this, man, self-love is so important. It's so important, man. If you don't have that, then you can't give it to nobody. It's so important. Like I remember my mom told me a long time ago, she said, don't you ever feel like you're not handsome. Yeah. Don't you ever feel like you're not cute. Don't you ever feel like you're not the man. She used to always say that to me, you the man. As a little boy, and that grew up, you smart, you intelligent. Boy. It's important to put that into your child's mind so they grow up and learn that self-love at an early age. Mm-hmm. My daughter asked me, do I look okay? Look okay? The word is not... I don't have the words to tell you how beautiful you are, how intelligent you are. I immediately tell her that. I don't want you to be another statistic where you feel like you got to do all this stuff like to enhance yourself or to look good or like be creative or to be sexy or to be beautiful. It's not just one thing to make you be beautiful. It's not just one thing to make you be sexy. It's not just one thing to make you be intelligent. You know what make you be all those things? It's because you believe it.
And the confidence and that self-love, man, please. Like I had a girl tell me, back in the days, whatever. So, oh, you ugly. Well, somebody like me. That's my exact response. Like, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Somebody like me though. Yep. Confidence. I don't care what you say. Don't make me or break me because I already know who I am. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man. We can just talk all day long, man. Hit that like button.
Yep.
Subscribe. Comment, share. Hit that notification button so you'll know when we have different episodes. But man, we got more on the way. I'm Arthur J.
And I'm Torrie.
And like we always say, till next time.
Peace.